What's going on, guys? The better question is, do I even want to cover this slate right now? Do I want to? I don't really want to, so that's my thought process on this. I don't even know where to begin, where to start. No, I know exactly where to start, guys. Let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 10-game slate. We're going to go ahead and cover the chalk. TJ is going to be a little bit late. He should be actually calling me any minute now, so just bear with him. He will be on stream. But let's start out by covering the chalk. We're going to wait for the ownership to come in from these Detroit guys, from these Houston guys. They're in the pace-up spot. So I'm assuming they'll be pushed up to the board, but in terms of overall chalk, we're going to be covering what we know now, and the Lakers, the Toronto Raptors, like none of that's changed. All the ownership's going to Dallas, Toronto, and the Lakers as of right now. So let's go game by game. We're going to start in the very back part, the very last game, and we're going to go backwards because that's where the chalk is. TJ is late. He's always late. TJ's never on time if you guys haven't noticed. If we're ever late to a live stream, it's always TJ's fault. 99.9% of the time. All right. So let's go ahead and dive right into the slate. We have the Lakers. They are without AD, Marc Gasol now, and also LeBron James. So if we dive right into that picture, we actually need to take Marc Gasol off now. The minutes did get updated a little bit more, and TJ's calling me, of course. So hold on. Just started covering the slate. Hi, TJ. You're on live right now.
Yeah, I just heard you talking trash, man.
Yeah, you're trash. You're late right now. So you're getting on?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
I'm ready. Bye. Hold on, guys. We're gonna wait for TJ. Oh, by the way, here's our Discord chat.
Hi.
Hi. Plug in your thing.
Hi, everybody. Here's my thing. You want my thing in? Or you
Yeah, I
want
want your thing, your camera, and your camera, whatever your thing is.
Let's keep it PG tonight, Matt.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I'm late.
Big day at work, huh?
Yeah.
It's about to get bigger. So I'll
Just
start out, TJ. I'll give you. What's up?
Just incompetency.
Oh, it's one of those kind of days.
People
Hopefully you're not talking about me.
Work, so always will about
Okay,
you
okay.
mostly, but yeah, about my real job too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, TJ.
Okay, Matt.
I am very sorry. All right, I'm going to start out by talking about the Lakers. I'm sure you saw the injury news coming in. If you haven't,
I'm going to update myself right now. And
I haven't even clicked the refresh button because I don't want to know anything right now, TJ. I'm going to wait for the minutes to come in. I'm going to wait for the ownership to come in, and then we're going to talk about the Lakers. Okay, so Lakers are now without AD, LeBron, and Marc Gasol, guys. Harrell, 1.35 fantasy points per minute. Tucker, 1.55 fantasy points per minute. We take these guys off the court. I can keep going down the list, but when we talk about this in terms of value, Horton Tucker's only 3.4K, projected right now at 24 minutes, 48.4% ownership, and an 8.1 point per dollar value. Markieff Morris at 29 projected minutes, 33.5% ownership, a 6.2 point per dollar value. Dennis Schroeder, 30.7% ownership, and also a 5.8 point per dollar value. Keep in mind, guys, that Dennis Schroeder actually doesn't look too good on our sheet, only averaging 1.01 fantasy points per minute, but we know the usage rate is going to jump tremendously with all these guys off the court. Take off LeBron, and you take off AD. That hasn't happened yet this season. I want to know what that picture looks like with Dennis Schroeder with the ball in his hands all the time. So I do think his numbers are a little bit low. You kind of have to use the eye test, use common sense. It's Sacramento, guys. Very high-paced game without Halliburton, so we do like him for cash. Same thing with Montrezl Harrell, showing 19.9% ownership. Keep in mind, all this ownership will drop a little bit because of this slate-breaking injury news. And then also Caldwell Pope, not showing too bad on our sheet, 3.6K. We love shooters in high-paced contests, so there's a lot of GPP options. There's a lot of cash options on the Lakers. They are a great place to start. By the way, we are doing a community core tonight. I got my poll ready to go. I'm going to put this in the chat once we get to the questions, and you guys will determine the core. I'm going to take the 5 top-rated options, and we're going to make a core as a community. We can't do a full lineup because it's against DraftKings terms and services, but we're going to release a full core, and you guys are going to be leading the charge there at the driver's seat. So that's exciting. I'm going to go ahead and set it in the poll chat once we get to questions. So in about 15 to 20 minutes or so, TJ. Hi.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi. So Lakers situation,
yes.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton of good plays here. Obviously, going up against Sacramento.
Oh, you just wanted to talk. Got it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I did. Take off AD. You take off take off AD, take off LeBron, you take off Marc Gasol. Schroeder actually does, Matt. He gets a 1.2% usage bump. He's a 1.03 fantasy point per minute, and at 5,900 projected 34 minutes. Like, I really do like him tonight in cash.
Sure.
He's carrying ownership rightfully so. We actually have him as a 6 value on the dot. 35.44 DraftKings points. Trez looks really good at 5,500, carrying some ownership, 6.1% usage bump. I know a lot of people,
but he only got 18 minutes last night.
High on him last night against Phoenix.
Chips loves him too.
Amanda goes in the shower as soon as I get home, and it's just like Chips just.
Yeah.
Trez 38.67 DraftKings points is what I have him projected at right now. Sorry for Chips, guys. Markieff Morris 3,700. I don't hate him, honestly. Projected 30 minutes in a really good matchup. KCP, THT both look really good on the sheet as well, Matt. KCP's a 0.84 fantasy point per minute. THT 1.15 fantasy points per minute. I have THT projected at 29.5 DraftKings points, and then KCP at 24. Markieff Morris at 20.7. So I think there's a lot of good value here in the Lakers, obviously, with their 2 studs out and Marc Gasol. So yeah, a lot of ownership coming from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's Sacramento, guys. Even if there weren't any injuries, TJ, I feel like some of these guys would be on the chalky side, given, if LeBron James played or so. But let's move on to the Dallas picture, because now we are without Luka Doncic, the highest usage guy and probably close to the highest usage rate guy in the entire NBA. Jalen Brunson, 5.3K, averaging an outstanding, trying to find it, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Not that bad of a usage rate as well. So we have him rated very, very well on the sheet. I believe he's up there as near the highest owned guys on the slate. It's 6.8 point per. Okay, 7 for you. And then Tim Hardaway also in a very good spot. 4.8K is just very, very cheap. 27% ownership. So somebody has to shoot the ball. Should be him. 5.9 point per dollar value. And then there's also some more options here. Richardson, your obvious option, Porzingis. However, he doesn't really show that well on our sheet without Doncic on the floor. TJ, 20.1% ownership. So for cash as of right now, without looking at the other injury news that we just got, who are you considering from this team for cash?
Brunson, Porzingis, and Hardaway are the 3 guys that I'm really honing in on. I know Porzingis doesn't necessarily bode well on the sheet map, 8,200, but with no Luka tonight, like, it's gonna fall on the head and shoulders of Porzingis. He's a 4.5% usage bump without Luka, and that's the one thing that I do that I was really happy to see. I understand he's only a 1.13 fantasy point per minute without him. I don't buy too much stock into that. I like the 4.5% usage bump without Luka instead. I do like Porzingis. If you're going there in cash, I can get behind it. Brunson's gonna be a lock for me. Obviously, he's a 3.4% usage bump, 1.1 fantasy point per minute. He's gonna start projected at 38.67 DraftKings points, so I do love him. Tim Hardaway, 5.7% usage bump, 0.91 fantasy points per minute. Have him pegged for 29.8 DraftKings points, so I do like him. And then another guy here, Trey Burke, got to get some run. I have him at 22 minutes, Matt. I'm not too sure what you have him at, but he's a 4.3% usage bump, 0.91 fantasy points per minute, 24% total usage, 20.88 DraftKings points. So I think he's a really good sneaky play there at 3K. I don't know if the ownership's necessarily going to be there, but I do think he's a decent option as long as he plays north of 20 minutes. So Brunson, Porzingis, and Hardaway, the 3 guys that I'm looking at. And then Trey Burke, I like him at 3K, especially if he plays north of 20.
The Rockets have available 8 players tonight.
They only have 8 guys. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think Detroit only has 9. So.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this state is Chips. Yeah, Chips. I know. I'm talking about. I'll get to Detroit.
Yeah, we got to get to Detroit. We have to. But before we do that, let's just talk about one specific guy from Brooklyn. Your obvious pay-up option, James Harden. TJ, going to be very chalky given the revenge narrative.
James Harden sucks.
James Harden does suck. He's
okay.
Don't do this right now, please. Okay. Also, Kyrie Irving for GPP'S. All right, we got past that. Let's talk about this Detroit picture. I haven't touched him. Have you touched him yet?
No, there's nothing to touch. If you take off all the guys, you have a 30-minute sample size. Okay. So, we just got to wait and see what
the minutes.
What's up?
I wasn't going to do that anyway. I was just going to take off Jeremy Grant and a couple other guys.
Okay. If you want to do that, you can. You could take
we didn't
off
talk about
Jeremy,
Toronto. Jeez,
Jeremy Grant, Josh Ashford. Yeah, no OG, no Siakam, no Van Vliet. Yeah, let's talk about Toronto.
All right, yeah, let's do that. We did get minute updates, by the way, from Detroit, so we can go directly to that. But speaking of Toronto, you take off the guys that you just said, McCall, Flynn. Those are the major guys. No, Van Vliet, Siakam, and Anunoby. You take those guys off the court, and you can pretty much, take a dart and throw it at the dartboard, TJ, and pick any one of these guys, honestly. Lowry looks good. Boucher looks good. Bembry looks good at 0.99 fantasy points per minute. Throwback to the Atlanta days. Terrence Davis doesn't look bad. Powell, a ton of minutes. Like, where do we start with Toronto? What's going on here?
So Lowry's probably the guy at 8,100. I also have a lot of interest in Powell and Boucher. Like those three guys are my favorites. Bembre at 3,700, projected 32 minutes. Like I like all these guys. So tonight is going to be an absolute. It's going to be a disaster. Just in terms
GPPs,
of
right?
Yeah, it's 100% a GPP night. If
Yeah.
you're trying to solidify one lineup, I'm going to do it and torture myself.
It's the community core.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to try and come up with one lineup tonight, obviously, because we have so many teams that are decimated. We have so much value left and right. So my advice and Matt's tonight, if you are playing, I would definitely focus on tournaments opposed to a one line because you're not going to be able to get everybody you want, and you're gonna end up getting pissed at yourself for taking one guy that was in a good spot opposed to the other guy that was in a good spot. And I knew I should have.
I knew I should have taken.
I wouldn't mess with one line, although I'll probably throw down God knows how much on a one line, and I'll be texting Matt being like, I knew I should.
I knew I should have taken Bembury. All right, listen, TJ. So
no.
Go ahead.
I was going to say with no OG, no Siakam, no Van Vliet, Lowry, 8.2% usage bump, Powell, 9.1% usage bump, Boucher, a 2% usage bump. Yep, 1.18 fantasy points per minute there for Lowry, 29.5% total usage, having pegged for about 46 DraftKings points, so I do like him. Norman Powell, 9.1% usage bump, like I talked about, 1.05 fantasy point per minute, 33% total usage, highest on the team, 41.24 DraftKings points, and then Boucher at 6,400, projected 30 minutes, 2% usage bump, 1.3 fantasy points per minute, 22.7% total usage. Have him pegged for 39.75 DraftKings points. Bembre at 3,700, Matt, he's going to be cash viable. Terrence Davis, probably more of a tournament play for me, but at 3,400, I haven't projected 23 minutes. Yep. So if he does play 23 minutes, 3% usage bump, 1.02.
I'm 26, so that's
okay. So yeah, so we'll put it 24. Like he's cash viable. People are going to go there. One Anabi, I like him for tournaments.
Okay.
A ton of value here in Toronto. That's basically all.
With this injury news just coming out, it's actually hilarious to say that Toronto is becoming more of a GPP team. Like it's actually happening with all you take off Siakam and Van Vliet and Anunoby, and you're like, oh, you play all these guys in cash. That's not the case anymore. These guys are now teetering on that line. Not saying they're not cash viable. I'm just saying now it looks like there's some more valuable options here on the slate. And these guys are going to fall by the wayside. 109 points here. This is actually the lowest over-under on the entire slate. So I don't hate it if you fade these guys for cash. We're going to get to Detroit here in just a second, which we're going to do now. But guys, Toronto is now falling in ownership. So let's switch over to Detroit. Let me refresh the page to see if we got ownership updates for these guys yet. And we have not. So let's go through the values, TJ. I'm going to start going through Detroit by taking off. Who do you think we should take off here?
You need to take off Jeremy Grant.
Yes.
Obviously. You need to take off Josh Jackson. You need to take off DeLon Wright. Blake Griffin probably. You're not going to get a strong sample size.
Okay.
It's just not. I don't think it's going to happen. And then I mean, Derrick Rose is in the mix. Like you have to take him off if you want a good sample size. God. So. Saddiq Bey, Matt, in that type of sample size in 77 minutes, he's a 1.21 fantasy point per minute, so that's probably who I have my eye on. Plumlee's a 1.47, but that's 35 minutes. Like DSJ, I think there's going to be a ton of value here, especially with a tight rotation. So it is pretty tough to put in words as to who we are going to be honing in on. I want to see what the ownership's going to look like because they do have the lowest team total on the slate tonight at 103. But again, with a very depleted roster, looks like they're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Saddiq Bey averages 1.3 fantasy points per minute.
10 guys. I think 8 really see minutes. I bet 4 of them see north of 30. Like Mikhailuk, they have projected at 30 minutes right now. So if he plays 30 minutes, I do like him at 3,200. Isaiah Stewart's definitely going to be interesting at 3,400. He should see an uptick in minutes. Saddiq Bey is probably the guy that I would be looking at that I think would carry the highest ownership there. DSJ and Saban Lee are going to split that point guard position. So they'll probably play, Lee will probably play like 24, DSJ 28 to 30. But yeah, I think Saddiq Bey and then Mikhailuk, if Mikhailuk does start and play 30 minutes, like those are the two guys that I want to hone in on. I won't touch
them. I have him at 28 right now. So
who is that?
Mikhailuk.
Okay, so yeah, 28. I have 30. So even 28, like at 3,200, a shooter in this type of situation, like I'll take a chance on him. But I think for cash, I think the guy that will probably carry the ownership is going to be Saddiq Bey.
Yeah, so that's my thought process too. Is like, even though Mikhailo looks like exceptional on our sheet, I don't think his ownership is going to be way up there. It's so weird to say, guys. I know any other slate would be like, yeah, Mikhailo, cash, load them up. The over/under in this game is going to dictate the ownership because of that. If it goes over the projected over/under right now of 212, these guys are fantastic value plays. I absolutely love these guys for GPPs. Even Mason Plumlee looks good. Like, all of these guys, given their 9-man rotation, is just exceptional for GPPs. But for cash, I can completely agree with you. Sadiq Bey playing 36 minutes is going to be hard for him not to hit that price point at 5.7K. Absolutely love him for cash, but the rest of these guys,
Tobias Harris to play. That's good.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yep, he was probable. The rest of these guys will be just GPP options. Yeah, do you want to talk about these guys anymore? I feel like the ownership, like you said, will dictate.
Yeah, like I said my piece on Detroit.
Okay.
I think I'd probably rather go to Houston with 8 guys.
Yep, let's go there. So they should have a decent sample size, honestly, because they've been in a lot of situations where they've only played with 9-man rotation. So PJ Tucker, is he playing?
PJ Tucker is in. It's Eric Gordon that you need to take.
Okay. What? Are you actually frozen? Oh, I was pumped to play PJ Tucker tonight.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. I didn't know what just happened. I thought.
You thought I died?
I had no idea. Yeah, I was. No, I don't want to say what I was just about to say on stream in front of these beautiful humans. Nwaba will get takeoff. Yeah. Let's see here.
Taking Harden off. That's for sure, right?
Yep. Gonna take Harden off. Yes, sir.
Harden.
Yes, sir. Matthew. So we got Wall, Vic. Eric Gordon's out. We have Tate. We have House. Smelia.
Are they really all out? This is crazy.
Yep. Sterling Brown's in. PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's projected at 35 minutes. PJ Tucker hasn't scored a basket in over 10 years. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do tonight.
What? All right. Did I miss anybody?
We got Patnett. Now, what do you have?
Oladipo is playing now?
Yeah.
That's my boy. Here we go.
What do you have? What do you have Patton at for minutes?
I do love to play PJ Tucker. Patton is at
33?
36, TJ.
That's aggressive.
That actually, is. No, I don't know if this aggressive, honestly.
Yeah, it's not aggressive. No, he'll probably play that.
1.0. Yeah, there's no sample size, so I'm gonna add a couple of these guys back onto the court.
I have a good sample size here. I took off Gordon, Exum, Wood, Nwaba, and Harden.
You didn't take off Kurux or whatever his stupid name is?
Kurux? No.
Kurux.
He's barely played.
Yeah, okay. Boom. Okay.
So we do have, I have Wall here with a
all
good
the
sample
best.
size. I have him as a 1.1 fantasy point per minute.
Okay, I have 1.85, so.
Who'd you take off?
Oh, it's only 30 minutes, you're right. I took off Gordon, Wood, House, Tate, and Harden.
Oh, I never took House off. That's what it is. That's where I messed up.
Honestly, we should probably leave him on because that's the low usage guy.
I still have John Wall as an 81-minute sample size.
I took off Gordon, Wood, Tate, and Harden. Those are the only 4.
Oh, Tate's playing, Matt.
Tate is playing. Oops, that's my mistake. Why didn't chat catch that? Tate's in. There you go. Sorry.
That's why I was getting confused.
Okay. This is a mess, guys. This is a mess.
So I have
Let's play Danny Green. All right, we got it. I got 1.23 for Wall, and I don't care. I'm putting him in as 1.23.
That's not Gordon, Exum, Wood, House, Nwaba. Harden got moved. Nope. Okay. Because when I redid it, Harden wasn't off.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a mess. Okay, I have 1.09. So we're just in shambles right now. 39% total usage.
We'll be fine in a few seconds. What's my man Oladipo looking like here?
I've seen 0.76.
Okay, why is he trash? Okay, leaving that projection. Tucker.
Sterling Brown looks really good. Patton's gonna look really good.
Yo, everybody on the screen, can you see this behind my big head?
I have him as a 0.36 fantasy point.
Everybody observe PJ Tucker's usage rate right here. I just highlighted it. Just observe this and tell me that's not the funniest thing you've ever seen. And that's in 122 minutes of sample size.
Incredible.
Does he actually play basketball? Is a real question. But that's got to be the lowest usage rate I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure I had a higher usage rate in high school.
You know the Lakers are going to trade for him too, right?
Are they really? That's not that bad of a fit though. I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. All right, Sterling Brown. What's he looking like? Did you already do it?
Sterling Brown looks good. Yep, I did.
Okay. Do you want to just read off your numbers then? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you.
I have Wall. Wall gets a 5.5% usage bump, only a 1.09 fantasy point per minute. 39.5% usage. Now, Matt, again, I took off Eric Gordon, Christian Wood, Exum, House, Nwaba, and Harden, and I still had an 80-minute sample size with John Wall. So I don't hate that number. It's not the best, but I definitely don't hate it.
Okay.
So a 5.5% usage bump. I have him pegged for 42.55 DraftKings points.
Okay.
I have Vic for 28.37. Poor guy.
I'm not updating. That's not accurate. He's gonna do better than that. Come on.
Yeah, the Tate isn't accurate either. I do like the Sterling Brown number because that's in a good sample size. I have him pegged for 30 DraftKings points. That's a little high.
Good.
And then Patton's only 30 minutes, so I'm not going to put stock into that. But I do really like.
I have him for 36. I said we pin him for like 33.
Yeah, that's fine. I still do like him. No, I have him at 34 minutes. 1.4% usage bump. If he starts, I mean, he's gonna play a ton of minutes. He did last night, so I would only expect him to do the same exact thing tonight. So I honestly do like Patton. I do like Sterling Brown as cheap options, and I think John Wall is going to be a good play as well.
All right, here's my take on this team. I do think these guys are going to jump up in ownership even more so than Detroit. I know they have a low over-under, but this is a pace-up. Well, it should be a pace-up spot. The fact that they only have an 8-man rotation does hurt the over-under for any of you guys who have been watching NBA. And whenever a team's on a very thin rotation, I mean, it makes sense. They're going to be missing a lot of shots. They're going to be winded out there. It just naturally happens. So I do think these guys are fantastic for value. It will be very interesting to see how the Houston value, TJ, competes with the Lakers value, because now that over-under is very close to them. But the spread is what's going to hurt these guys. Do not be afraid of the spread of the Houston-Brooklyn game because they only have an 8-man rotation. Okay, you should only be scared in guys with you should only be scared with Wall and Oladipo. Those are the only two guys you should be scared of, because if it does blow out, those guys will not play in the fourth. And even then, they might even play a little bit of the fourth. But the rest of the team, the value, I think, is elite in Houston, TJ. I don't know if you agree with that. I think it's actually elite.
I mean, obviously, I love the Houston value outside of Wall and Oladipo. I think all those and Tucker. Like,
are you throwing?
If this game does blow out, like, you're gonna see a fourth quarter full of Patton, Sterling Brown, Tate, Ben McLemore, and Mason Jones. It would be Tucker, Oladipo, and John Wall that take a seat. I guess the one thing that I would be considering here as a possibility too is if they do get blown out, like, you have Harden and Kyrie on the other side of the ball. So that's something that I guess you do need to take into consideration. I still do love James and Cash with no KD, especially what we've seen from him. And I'm not just basing it off of, who did I say?
You said just James. Is that who you meant? James Harden?
Yeah, James Harden. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a first name basis because his first name is my middle name, so we just call each other James. So yeah, I do like him in Cash still, especially going up against his former team. He just went for 80 against the Spurs, so naturally he's going to go for 80 against.
What did Kyrie do?
Houston.
Yeah, Kyrie snapped again, of course, because he always does. That's just what happens. Okay, good.
He didn't snap. He shot 9 of 24.
Dude, he had his career game when he played in Cleveland against the Spurs, and I just remember watching it and just. Anyway, go ahead.
He was 9,100 and he had 50 points. He went for
that's still snapping.
5.5 value. That's not snapping. Shut up. James Harden went for 80 DraftKings points. That is snapping, man. Okay. That is snapping. Or Claxton went for 30 DraftKings points. That is snapping. I love him in tournaments.
He is good. He is really good. I actually mentioned him on my video. TJ, it is 6:05, so what we're going to do is we're going to update the ownership. I'm going to keep hitting that refresh button. We're going to see what that looks like. We're going to answer questions, and then I'm going to post a poll. For all 195 of you in here, I'm going to post a poll. You guys are going to vote on your very favorite play on the slate in the chat, okay? It'll be very self-explanatory. You just click the link, and then you vote for your favorite play, and then we'll have a community core that we play around. I'll even pull it up. We'll even mess around with some builds. Just 5 players will lock in, and it's going to be you guys dictating that core. So I'm gonna mess around with the poll options real quick, TJ, because I haven't been able to update that since I've been on stream. So if you don't mind, if you could get to questions, I'm gonna update that real quick.
Yes, I will do my best to answer as many questions as I possibly can with all of this absolutely insane news that we just have. I just broke my guys. Again, I just want to reiterate. I would not be playing cash tonight. I wouldn't be running one lines. You're just going to end up getting frustrated at yourself. I would. Did I just rip my shoe?
What?
Oh, damn it.
It's very random.
Crud nuggets, man. My loafer. My beautiful loafer. I just ripped the inside. So I would be playing tournaments tonight. I'd be playing GPPs. Again, will I run a one line? Yeah, because I'm just an absolutely frustrating person. But I wouldn't beat yourself up and be trying to figure out a one line for this. I would be running tournaments. Let's see. Do you guys do MLB too when the season starts? Yes, Ryan, we do. Pump for MLB to start. We'll have to wait and see what transpires here with COVID and everything, but hopefully we get a full regular season. Well, obviously not a full regular season. But we have everybody playing healthy.
We absolutely crush MLB.
We don't have any COVID deals. Yes, MLB's money. Let's see what we got here though. Rockets only 8 available. Yes, Nick, that is something. Matt, why so serious?
Huh?
Someone asked where I was. Jim, I'm here, baby. Late tea, Aaron. Look, I had a rough day at work, man. Yeah, I was a little late.
Don't I joke around, guys. He's give him some slack, please.
Fading TJ due to constant tardiness, pivoting to chips. J3, I think that's a fantastic move. I would always play chips over me. We got a lineup from Bill. We have Harden, Schroeder, Powell, Markieff Morris, Patton, Curry, THT, and Brunson. I do like that. I mean, the only thing is you don't really have exposure to any of those Houston guys outside of Patton. But I mean, that's going to be cash viable 100%. Don't ever apologize for chips. Thank you, Devin. I won't. So Brunson is a huge play tonight. Yes. For cash, you're going to want Jalen Brunson in. Richardson for tournaments. Yep. I think you can go Richardson for tournaments tonight for sure. The slate is a nightmare. Joe, I agree with you 100%. Matt, would you like to explain the difference between cash and tournaments? You do such a fantastic job at it.
I want to see if this popped up correctly.
Okay, so Andrew, cash is basically 50-50 tournaments. So depending on how much money you put down, if you put down $10, you have to finish within the top 50 or 45% of a contest. If you do, depending on you come in the last place of cashing or you come in first, you double your money regardless. In tournaments, it's only a certain amount of people that actually cash, and depending on where you finish, depends on your payout. So it's normally around anywhere from like 18 to 25% of the field actually cashes. If you come in first, you win more money, and downward, the less money you win. So that is the difference between cash and 50-50 in tournaments and GPPs. We got a lineup from from Nick. We have Lowry, Schroeder, THT, Morris, Porzingis, Burke, Powell, Harden. Love it. Matt made a nice call in the Patreon Discord post tip-off last night. That helped us out a lot. Just throwing it out there. I'm happy I bought it if anyone is on the fence. J3, appreciate that. Yeah, we talked about quickly. You wanted to get in quickly. Quickly saved my ass last night, thank God. So I had a really good pivot too.
Yeah, TJ would have made that recommendation too. Just FYI, guys. So it was just I was on it quicker. That's all.
But it was an absolutely fantastic call, and it won a lot of people money. So, yeah. It was definitely a good call there. I want all low-owned guys, said Irwin. Irwin, I think tonight is the night that you can definitely do that because there's going to be a lot of chalk. You can definitely fade some and maybe take some chalk if you're playing big tournaments. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys that are definitely over-owned, especially in cash, that I think you can try and fade in tournaments. Matt loves PJ Tucker. Yeah, Myron, he's obsessed with PJ Tucker for some reason. Green. I don't know why. He always wants to play him.
Danny Green's a great GPP option tonight.
Jaden just got Patreon. Jaden, welcome to the family, baby. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man.
Will not be disappointed. TJ, can I throw Anthony Edwards into my cash build? J3, I wouldn't. I wouldn't tonight. I don't think you need him tonight. I do like him as a tournament play for sure. All PJ Tucker does is collect shoes.
Got it. I just posted barely wrong. Let me repost this poll, guys.
Brian asked, do we leave 15K on the table tonight? Brian, I think it's viable. No, obviously you don't want to do that. But I definitely think tonight is a night where you can leave a lot more on the table than you're doing. I normally don't like leaving more than around like $500 on the table, and even that's generous. I think tonight I could see myself potentially leaving like $800 on the table and still loving my lineup. So I think it's just preference and builds that you are going for, what studs you want to pay up for, and what salary or salary savers you actually think are the ones in good spots. Jinwoo, we will get to Superdraft soon once Matt's I don't know what Matt is doing right now.
I'm doing the exact same thing I've been talking about doing. There we go.
Superdraft?
Got it. All right, everybody, head over to that poll right there on the link. Let me just make sure it works. Go to the site. It is not what you think it is, guys. All right, awesome. We got a poll right here. Just vote on this poll. Your favorite overall play on the slate. I tried to narrow it down to the chalkiest guys. You only get one vote, okay? We're going to make a core off these guys. All right, very straightforward. And then I will update the poll results at the very end, and then we'll give you guys a community core along with our cash core. Sorry, TJ, that took so long, but I was seeing what I did wrong. Apparently, I did something wrong. All right, everybody vote at that link, and then I will update the results. Let me go to the Discord. TJ, you didn't answer Discord, right?
I did not. I was voting off YouTube, so hit the Discord. I am not voting right now. I am doing Orlando real quick because we did get word that Fournier is out, so that definitely interests me for Vooch. Matt, if you could, go ahead and get to the Discord and then Superdraft.
All right. By the way, real quick, we'll talk about Jock Market content real quick. I sent a spreadsheet over to TJ earlier. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I got inside access from Jock Market, so that we're able to we're able to update our spreadsheets like immediately. We got the API for it, so all I did was I updated our projections and we compared them versus Jock Market's projections, and it gives you the best buys on Jock Market. And it's all automatic now, so that we can identify the plays like right on the spot. So if you guys sign up for our Patreon, I'll be posting Jock Market content in there. It's like a free spreadsheet in there that I'm going to be adding to the Discord whenever I can. So hopefully you guys find value in that. I'm also going to be updating this like on the live stream every once in a while for any of you Jock Market guys in there. And also sign up at Jock Market using the code DGF20 for a $20 bonus. Cash, small GPP, Brunson, Sterling Brown, Horton Tucker, Bay, Porzingis, Harden, Morris, or Patton Lowry. Harrell, Powell, or Lowry and Patton. Got it. I'm going to say Lowry and Patton just because they are playing more minutes. Those are solidified minutes. I think Patton's going to play about 32 minutes. We know Harrell's going to play a lot of minutes, but I think Patton has a lot more upside with that then rotation. That's all the questions I have.
That was it. Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
Orlando definitely becomes intriguing with some of these plays. I'm not going to fall in love with them. But I do like Vooch as a spend up now at 10-3 with all those guys out. Going up against Atlanta, favorable matchup there.
All right.
I'll also have interest in Michael Carter-Williams and Terrence Ross. I don't think I'd go to either of those guys in cash, but if you do want to pay up for Vooch, like I definitely don't hate that. I do like him as a landing spot tonight now.
So Mikhailo just jumped, TJ. We were making fun of Mikhailo. Yeah. So we weren't making fun of him, but we didn't expect that. So let me update the public here.
Well, yeah, he's playing 30 minutes, right? So we talked about that.
Yeah, we just didn't expect
it. 30, like he's. What do you have him at for ownership?
I have him at 24.5%.
Okay. Harrell, Powell, or Lowry and Patton. I would. Hudson, that's so tough. I think I trust Lowry and Patton, honestly. I still think they have more bodies there in LA. And then, Powell and Lowry's kind of a toss-up for me. Honestly, I do prefer Powell, but I think Patton's going to play a ton of minutes. So I would go Lowry and Patton there. If Sabonis gets ruled out, any must-plays, there's 1,000 must-plays tonight. It's so unfortunate. If Sabonis gets ruled out, I would be looking at a guy like Miles Turner at 6K. I'd probably be looking at Brogdon as well, but those would just be tournament plays for me. Like I don't think they trump any of the news that we currently have, like in Houston, or Luka being out, or Toronto, or the Lakers without AD and LeBron. Like just because Sabonis is out, they would just be still tournament plays. I wouldn't go anywhere like that for cash.
Guys, we have 225 of you and 11 of you have voted so far. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. Oh, wait. Never mind. 28 of you have voted. So 28 out of the 225 of you, are you kidding me? You guys not want to help out this community? Head over to the link. I just posted it again. Vote on that link and we'll make a community core at the very end of this. And yes, I'm going to update the Superdraft projections right
now. Only thing about slates like this is that you have many ways to have an edge on the field. Myron, I agree. 100%.
I completely agree with you.
Large GPP lineup, we have Brunson, KCP, Powell, Ingram, Harrell, Irving, Barnes, and Patton. That's very different, Ethan, so I do like that for large tournaments. That's going to be very, very different. Lineup from what? Intarnatius. I got it right, baby. Brunson, Schroeder, THT, Porzingis, Trez, Steph, Bembry, and Lowry. I like that. The only guy I'd say you're missing, honestly, as a spend up would be Harden. But if you think that game's going to blow out there in Houston, then I do like that. Again, it's going to be hard, guys, for us not to like any lineup that you're playing, honestly, because you're basically just taking some of the spend down spots that are all in fantastic spots, and then you're paying up for studs. So a lot of these lineups, you're just going to hear us say like it's a good lineup because it is tonight. There's so many different good lineups tonight that all look good on paper.
Yeah.
Turning lineup from Zach, we have Lowry, Brunson, THT, Zion, Trez, Curry, Richardson, Terrence Davis. I like that. It's going to be different with Zion and Richardson in there. We got a lineup from Gordy Cookie. We have Schroeder, Brunson, Harden, Oladipo, Richardson, Bay, Boucher, Claxton, Vooch. I like that if that's tournaments. I think you're a little too different if you're playing cash. But again, I hope you're playing tournaments tonight, so Cookie, I can get on board with that. Sorry, is THT and Brunson a lock? I think Brunson's a lock. I think THT's teetering. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, I have some Superdraft projections for you guys. TJ, Patton. Mr. Patton himself, a 2 times multiplier, which is the minimum or which is the maximum that you can have on Superdraft. So we love him. 72.8 projected fantasy points is what we have him at right now. Incredible play there. A good value play over there in Superdraft. Vooch has a 1.25 times multiplier, TJ. 69.1 points. Brunson has a 1.8 times multiplier. So another great play. Harden doesn't have a multiplier, but we know the deal over there. Brandon Ingram, 1.35 times multiplier. Another great play. That's a very high-paced matchup there. Damian Lillard has a 1.15 times multiplier. And then last but not least, let's talk about Cantor. He's always grabbing some really high multipliers. 1.55 times tonight in Golden State. So fantastic matchup. Love that 1.55 times multiplier. Patton, Vooch, and Brunson are my favorite plays tonight over there on Superdraft.
I think if you want to get different tonight in Superdraft, Matt, you fade Brunson.
Okay. I think that would and I don't mind that. I think that's because he's relatively expensive. So
yeah, I'm not saying do it in cash.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for Superdraft strictly because of that multiplier. He's going to be so high owned. I think if
for sure. Yeah.
And get leverage on the field there on Superdraft, I think fading Brunson would be your play because he's going to be like 90% owned.
That's another great point is that we technically don't know the ownership on these guys over in Superdraft. So the one thing that we offer here at Patreon is our projections. You literally just follow the projections. You throw on a randomness and you enter all those lineups and you guys just get takedowns. It's that easy. Superdraft is the easiest. I kid you not. I've played Superdraft over the past month more than I've played Draftkings and I've absolutely loved it. Not only that, the overlay over there, there's like 5% rake percentages in some of the contests. It's unbelievable. So Superdraft, guys, link is in the description if you guys want to sign up for Superdraft.
We got a lineup from Mark. We got Lowry, Brunson, THT, Markeith, Embiid, Wall, Hayward, and Schroeder. I don't know if you have enough chalk in there, Mark, honestly. J3, shooting guard, 4K or under DK, or should I go Mikhailo? I like Mikhailo, honestly. Whatever he is he 3,200? Yeah, I really like Mikhailo if he starts. Great Jock Market day tonight, Ethan. Okay, I like that. Cash locks for the night. We will get to that, Ronald. Vooch or Lillard?
All right, guys, 50 votes. That's all we have. Keep voting.
I think you go Dame and Cash, but I do like Vooch. I just like the matchup there a little better against Golden State for Portland than I do that Orlando matchup. So I would probably say I would go Dame in that situation there. Lowry or Schroeder for cash? I like Schroeder. Is Curry a good GPP play? Definitely. Brunson, Sterling Brown, THT, Bay, Porzingis, Harden, Powell, and Harrell. I do like that. That's Norman Powell and not Dwight Powell. I'm assuming it's Norman Powell.
For any of you guys flooding in here, listen, there's a link above. Just scroll up in the chat. We're creating a community core. We only have 50 votes, and there's literally 240 of you. By the way, I haven't even looked at the like count. It better be high tonight. 240 people in here, and only 50 of you voted. If you guys want to help out the community, just literally go up to the link and then vote. It's not that hard. I'm not salty.
T-Mill said community core about to be illegal with all the guards.
Yeah, there's a ton of guards on there.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Thoughts on DK, GPP? We got Trey Burke, Terrence Davis. I already like it. Powell, Zion, Porzingis, Schroeder, THT, Vooch. I love that, Matt. We got a lineup from Zach. We got Patton, Boucher, and Morris, or Trez, Richardson, Bembre. I like Patton, Boucher, and Morris, honestly. Jason Richardson, I think he means. Go ahead.
Hudson put a lineup in here. Brunson, Sterling Brown. You guys like Sterling Brown tonight, and I like him as well.
I just read that. THT, Bay, Porzingis.
Oh, did you put it in here too? Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Jason Richardson, I think Josh Richardson. Tim Hardaway or THT. I think I go THT there. Bruce Brown or Eric Bledsoe, small 500 GPP. Ooh, I'd say Bruce Brown, but honestly, I don't like either, especially with all the value there tonight, Skylar. If I had to pick one, though, I'd go Bruce. Lineup from DV8, we got Lowry, Schroeder, THT, Porzingis, Vooch, Brunson, Hardaway, and Patton. Love it. Birthday batter. Happy birthday, batter. I don't know if it's actually your birthday, batter, but if it is, then happy birthday, batter. Lowry, Schroeder, Harden, Ross, Powell, Bay, Zion, Clayton, and Patton for GPPs. I like it.
We got a GPP person leading, or not leading, but he's in the top 5 core for the community core right now. I actually like it. You guys are getting risky. I'm not telling you yet. You're gonna have to wait another 3 minutes, TJ.
Okay, sorry. Brunson and Sterling Brown or Burke and Powell. I already have Lowry. I'd go Brunson and Sterling Brown. I think you need Brunson tonight in cash. Tobias or Porzingis. Porzingis for me. Tourney lineup, we have Dame, Trey Burke, Terrence Ross, Bay, Boucher, Steph Curry, Sterling Brown, Patton. Love it. I think Terrence Ross is going to be very underowned. And I think he's in a good spot there with basically everybody out. So I do like that. Matt, any updated ownership? Because that's really what I'm interested in.
I've been updating, yes. So you want to hear the top owned guys right now, TJ?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Brunson, 39.7% ownership. Horton Tucker, 39.3%. Those two haven't changed. Markieff Morris is still up there, 27.4%. And then the Lakers, again, with Dennis Schroeder. And then Mikhailuk. Mikhailuk is 5th. Hardaway, Porzingis, Richardson, Lowry, Harden. Not too much has changed. The one guy that is just getting overlooked that I keep seeing is Bay, because he's looking very well on the sheet. TJ, only 5.7K. I think he's a great GPP option tonight, and I expect him to be a lot higher. So,
yeah, no, I agree with you there, 100%.
The Houston guys Matt, are very low owned.
If you had to fade any of those guys up top, who would you be fading? Because I think, I love Markieff Morris tonight.
Yeah.
I think that might be a guy if I'm playing tournaments to get different. I think that's who I would fade. I understand the Mikhailuk chalk. I love him for cash, but he might be a guy that I get different on the field there because he's a really cheap option. Matt, would you take a chance on potentially that game blowing out there between Brooklyn and Houston and Harden not getting any run?
I was just about to say it.
Maybe he gets 55 instead of what he could.
Sure.
If the game's competitive, he goes for 70 or 80. And you go to a guy like Dame or Embiid that's in a really close competitive matchup and maybe get some leverage.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. Build a middle-of-the-road lineup tonight, period, if you want to get different. I'd load up on Brunson. I'd load up on Schroeder, middle of the road. Porzingis, TJ, is a fantastic option to get different. And I know it's called getting different, but it's not really that different. Lowry with the build, Lowry 8,100, and then following up with somebody like Powell, Norman Powell down there. Steph Curry, TJ, could outperform Harden tonight in this pace-up matchup. 1,000%. I think those are fantastic. Tonight's it's going to be about lineup construction. If you guys are going stud and dud type lineups, it's going to be Harden and then all the Houston guys and all the Lakers guys. We know what the builds are going to look like tonight for a majority of the public. So do anything but that to get different in GPPs. That being said, TJ, we have 1 minute left, so let's reveal the community core. Let me go up.
Now, one guy while you do that, Zach LaVine at 9,500.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned him earlier, too.
That's somebody I'm eyeing. Zion, 9,100, no ownership, again, a really good matchup against Chicago. Porzingis, like we talked about, I like Porzingis in a one line, honestly.
All right, you ready for the community core, TJ?
Yes, hit it.
All right, I don't even know if this is possible, like they said, but let's try it out. Let's just build a random lineup here. It does work. Uh-oh.
Harden's got shooting guard. Brunson does too. Yeah, you can throw those 4 guys, honestly.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, hit me.
The community core. You guys help determine it yourselves. Brunson, TJ, Schroeder, Kyle Lowry, James Harden, and Norman Powell as the last spot.
So you got 5 guys.
5 guys, but the majority, all of them are guards except for Norman Powell. So, yeah, I locked in a 5-man core, and Norman Powell was the guy that's going to be lower owned. But I love it. I love the play, guys. I love Norman Powell tonight. A lot of minutes, great opportunity, 6.7K. So he's a little expensive, but he's still averaging over that 1.0. I think it was 1.09 fantasy points per minute. Absolutely love that core, guys. I think that's a GPP core, though. If you guys cash with this core, let us know in the comments tomorrow and in the live stream. Also, add us on Discord whenever you guys win. Matt, that's a great community core.
If you had to give your core 4, let's do that quick.
Okay.
Who would you have in there?
All right, it's going to be Brunson.
Yeah.
It's going to be so boring. Tucker,
Tucker.
Horton Tucker, sorry. PJ Tucker. It's gonna be Schroeder.
Yep.
And do you know what, TJ? I'm gonna go out on a little bit of a limb here, just because I feel so strongly about this player tonight. And Patton. I think Patton's going to provide so many minutes. I think he's blowout proof. Yeah, and against Brooklyn, I think he's in a smash spot tonight. So, and he's very cheap at 4K. I think he's in a great spot tonight. That's my last guy. I feel very highly on Patton. Yep.
Okay. I would go Schroeder, Jalen Brunson. I still take Harden if I'm playing cash. He's my spend-up cash guy. If you want to get different in tournaments, you can fade him, but he's my cash guy. So I go Schroeder, Harden, Brunson. I want to say Porzingis as my fourth, honestly, Matt.
He's great.
I'd probably go one of Porzingis or Lowry. I think I lean Porzingis there, but that would be probably my second stud spend up.
Okay. I think
middle. Go ahead.
I think I lean Kyle Lowry, but it's not by much. I love both those options. You can go either way.
Yeah, agree.
All right, guys. We're running a little bit over. I have so many different sheets to update now, and that was fun. So let's do the community core going forward. You guys helped out each other, so I think that's a great. I think that's a great format going forward. By the way, our stream is broken for some reason. It doesn't have our scene where we get off and it says thanks for tuning in. I don't know where it went, so we're just gonna awkwardly stare at the screen for the next 10 seconds. You ready?
That's fine.
Let's cash.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, I have to fix that. So, Well, let's play something else. Is there something else that I have?
Zeller's out.
There's a Prize Picks partnership video. There's a DGF ad.
Are we still live right now?
Yeah, we're still live. I'm just talking.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's play this thing.